What's up, Dream Chasers? What's up, Wrench Gang? It's your boy Kevin Van Voort checking in for another video for you guys today. Today's video is gonna be awesome. I'm gonna take you guys basically my journey so far with the Bagged Cat, the fastest Mopar in the world on air ride suspension. So grab yourself a Diet Coke. DJ, hit that motherfucking intro, please!
Supercharged, 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 supercharged.
First things first, hopefully you guys are having an awesome day. It's snowing here in Amarillo, so no videos outside today, which it's no big deal. I wanted to make this video before it got too late into 2021. So, and then we're gonna kind of go over basically from beginning to where we're at, and then basically what the plans are for 2021 for this beautiful, magnificent Charger sitting right behind me. If you guys are new to the channel, maybe you came here because my demon got smashed in the front yard. Maybe you've been here since I've been posting kicking videos, me trying to go to the NFL on my YouTube channel. Either way, I appreciate you for sticking around or just joining the Wrench Gang. I appreciate it. Today's video, we're gonna be going over the Hellcat, what's done to it, what happened, everything in between, what you should and shouldn't do. So, I've owned this since October of 2016. I've owned it for over 4 years. It was the fastest car I ever bought. I grew up like not with a lot of money, so my car that I thought was super cool was like a Hyundai Elantra. It was like a 2003. I love that thing. I was a racer for sure, but I never really experienced speed because I could never afford to go fast like that. So buying the Hellcat was an awesome day. I was like, holy shit, this is like fast. This is 707 horsepower. Oh my God. And you guys know if you bought a Hellcat and you hop in, you're like, holy shit, this is insane. And then now you got Red Eyes and Demons and Trackhawks and TRXs and everything comes with a Hellcat motor. So I'll be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they come out with like a Caravan with a Hellcat motor. But, so what inspired me first to put airbags on my car? My good buddy, SRT Mush. I've been following him for a long, long time, and now we're really good friends. He was the first one to bag his Charger, and I was like, dude, I want to do that. So that was the first thing I did, was I bagged it, and then I started getting into racing it, and went to the track when it was stock, went to the track, put some tires on it, did a bunch of stuff, and then I was like, all right, cool. Like, I want to try and make this as fast as I can. And I was like, I really want to run, I think when I first got the car, I was like, I really want to run like a 10-second quarter mile. Because, you know, like Fast and Furious, my God. Fast and the Furious, you owe me a 10-second car. And if you guys don't know, I live in Amarillo. So we're at 3,500 feet above sea level. The density altitude here, usually in the summertime, is like 6,000 to 7,000. Maybe a little higher, maybe a little less. Wintertime, the track's not open anyways, but it's like 4,000 to 5,000. So our DA here is very, very terrible. But I remember taking this car to the track for the first time in Amarillo and me almost killing myself because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I didn't have a clue of what I was doing. I was in 20-inch fucking wheels. I had no clue. And I was like, I took it on the track once. I was like, all right, I'm getting some tires and some wheels for this fucking thing. I'm not gonna kill myself in my brand new, I think it was like $65,000 car. And I was like, oh my God, like I can't wreck my fast, expensive car. After that, I got the bug and I was like, dude, I wanna race this car. But I never want, this is the thing, I've said this since I've had the car, and you guys have been following me forever, I don't wanna cut the car up, okay? I don't wanna cut it up. This has full interior. If you don't believe me, hold on. So, door panels, seats, back seats. I have never taken anything out of the interior. So yes, I've done the 15-inch conversion on the front and rear. I've cut off the exhaust to like, what is it? Right past the downpipes, or a little longer. But that's really the only lightweight stuff I've done. I haven't even taken off the front sway bar. I haven't done any of that stuff. So this car, as it sits with me in it, is like 4630, I think. I had an ice tank in it before. Then I switched to a inner chiller system, which I highly recommend, but we'll get into that in a second. Going back to what I was saying, I got the bug, I wanted to race. And I was like, I want this, I want to drive a sedan. And you go to whether it's street racing or to the track, and you're like, what the fuck? that sedan is fast. That's what I wanted. I really wanted that. And I still want to be able to drive it and like have fun with it, take it to car shows. So like one of car shows, obviously it's on airbags. It's got a crazy wrap. Go to car shows, go racing, go street racing, drive around town, still have all the amenities that I really, really enjoy. Started off just like everybody else does. I want to do a pulley. So I did, you know, the upper and lower system. I ended up reaching out to a company which I'm no longer affiliated with. You guys can figure out who it is. But I did upper lower pulley, E85, like a flex fuel tune. The pulley it was not very small. I think it was like a 295, the original one. And then I had some 17s that I had on it, and it did some really awesome stuff with the setup. And then I went to a smaller pulley, to a 275, and then I went to a 265, and that was the smallest I ever went with that company. So the car did amazing. I went to tons of street races. This thing held its own for what it was, and it was surprising a lot of people, like in Vets and Camaros and turbo this and turbo that, and it was pretty well what this car was doing, and I was like, holy shit. So took it to the track in Houston a couple years ago, went 949. I don't remember the mile an hour. It was like 147 or something like that. I was gonna go around second time and it would have went like 930 something with that setup, and ended up blowing my motor right after the 8th. Luckily it didn't crash. Blew an airline, a little bit of fire underneath the car, no big deal. And ever since then, a lot has changed. The car was sent off to Michigan. It was gonna get a new motor. We were gonna spray nitrous on it and do a bunch of stuff, and it was a stroker motor and blah, 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 blah. Had issues, sent it back, did another motor, got it back, had issues, and then finally we are here where we are today. So the engine is built by 918 Hemi Performance. The guys, Scott and Thomas, awesome dudes. It has a Southern Hot Rod transmission, which is butter. It's got a FAS ported blower, and it's tuned by the best in the world. ZH Tunes, Z-Dung, ho! Everyone calls them Z. So ZH Tunes tunes the car. This car went from, in 2020, everyone knows 2020 was like a shitty year for everybody. 2020, I was this close to selling this car. I was like, I'm fucking done, dude. I've been through 3 engines. I'm fucking done. But luckily, Scott from 918 Hemi Performance, who's a buddy of mine, reached out and was like, dude, let's fix your car. Let's do what we know it can do. So here we are today. This car, as it sits, I think it ran it in like 900 something DA positive, was a 893 at 157 miles an hour with a 128 60 foot. This car is moving. If you guys don't know those numbers, you're like, I don't know, is it fast? Is it not? It's fucking fast. This thing weighs 4,630 pounds with me in it. It is fucking fast for what it is. Now, me recording all the Hellcat stuff that I've ever done is to make sure that anybody who has a Hellcat, a Demon, a Trackhawk, anything Mopar related that's supercharged, you guys do it the right way. So I was one of the first ones that was racing my Charger seriously on YouTube, and I went through a lot of shit that no one ever records. So my goal with this video is to help out anybody who has a Hellcat, a Demon, a Trackhawk, whatever, a supercharged Hemi, so that way you don't make the same mistakes that I. So when you're tuning your car, when you want to go fast, you need to figure out how fast you want to go. Okay, having 1,000 wheel horsepower on a stock engine and stock transmission, is it doable? Yes. Is it safe? No. So just keep in mind when you're like, oh, I want 1,000 horsepower. I want 1,000 horsepower because it sounds super cool. It is not safe. It's not reliable. It is kind of like a ticking time bomb. No matter how good your tuner is, if you're daily driving that car, every mile you put on that engine is one less mile you're going to be able to race that car. Just remember that. So, again, you need to pick the correct shop and the correct tuner. Most shops, because most people just do bolt-ons on these cars, can do those modifications, but make sure you hire a tuner who knows what they're doing. There is a few that are very good at their job. This is the best way to find a good tuner. Figure out who has the fastest Hellcats and Demons, and that's who you should be tuning your car. When I was looking to have my car retuned and reset up, I was like, who has the fastest motherfucking charger on the planet? And that is Z with ZH Tunes. And that's why I chose him, along with a lot of other reasons. But the main reason when I first went to him, I was like, he's got the fastest charger. He knows what he's doing. He races his charger. It's orange, just like mine underneath. We're like twins, but that's how you want to choose. Pick the fastest one, and that's what you want to go with. Now, tuning these cars, you need to understand something. Go to a tuner that only deals with Mopars. Mopars are their own platform. Just because someone tunes LS is really good, or Coyotes, or Mustangs, or whatever it is, does not mean they can tune a Hemi. Hemis are a different breed, and if you don't know what you're doing, you will blow your shit up. And that was a big mistake that I did, was I went to a shop that dealt with a lot of different cars, which is fine if you just want like your basic bolt-ons. But when you want to go fast, you want to go to a specialty shop. Another recommendation that I can give you is make sure that, like, if you're like, all right, cool, I don't want 1,000 horsepower, I want it to be reliable. 850 horsepower for these cars on E85 is plenty of horsepower for the street. You go street racing, have a great time. When you start getting up in these higher numbers of stuff, you're gonna have to start doing other things. For example, you probably want to go with a 15-inch conversion. These cars are extremely heavy. This one, for example, weighs 4,630 pounds with me in it. If you don't have the correct wheel and tire setup, these motherfuckers will not grip correctly unless you're on like a perfect prep track, blah, 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 blah. So that's one thing you want to keep in mind. The more horsepower you have, the harder it is going to be to have traction. So that's one thing that I recommend, is if you want to make the big jump up, make sure you got money saved for a 15-inch conversion. And if you're going to do the back, you might as well do the front to save you a little bit of weight on the front end. You can save like, I think 100 pounds on the front end alone. As far as built motors, you need to find a company that is not going to fuck you over. It's very simple. You can go on, I think it's the Hellcat forum, Hellcat Facebook page, and just ask. There are plenty of guys, including myself, who have built engines that have blown up more than once. Okay, this is my fourth engine technically, because I had a stock motor and then two engines and this engine. So this is technically the fourth rendition of this engine. So just make sure you go with someone who is reliable, who wants to take care of you, and knows what they're doing is the biggest thing. Just because they do a lot of this does not mean that they are actually good at their job. You found a good tuner, you know, like in the future maybe you want to build your engine. As far as transmission options, there's not a ton of options. There are a few. I think Hellraiser transmission, Southern Hot Rod, which is what's in my car, and I highly recommend them. As far as torque converters, I would highly, highly, highly recommend Suncoast Diesel Performance. One of the gentlemen who works for them has a Hellcat Challenger that runs, I think he went like 850s, 840s. So again, you want to find people who are racing the platform, trying to improve the platform. So those are the type of people that you want to be with, is people who are trying to move the platform forward, and you want to be a part of that because they know what the fuck they're doing. They've been through everything you already want to do. They can tell you exactly what to do and what not to do. Last thing is Nitrous for the Hemi platform. These cars take Nitrous fairly well. I personally have not ran Nitrous on this car yet. This car is set up to do whatever the hell I want with it if I decide to do Nitrous. I am still not 100% sure what I want to do. I really need to talk to my tuner and see what we want to do. What is the goal for the car? Really, the goal for this car, and I'll be honest with you guys, is to be able to go to Streetcar Takeover events or events like Streetcar Takeover, go to a heavyweight or a streetcar class, like a daily driver class, and go do damage. Because I can take this car as it sits, and drive around and do a bunch of shit, and I can turn on the AC, I can turn on the heat, I can turn on the music. That's what a daily driver is. You know, there's nothing cut out in the interior that's kind of the racing that I want to do with this particular build. If some of you guys follow my brother, David Van Voorst, who has the sickest, one of the fastest, actually I think it's the fastest, S550 Mustangs, and you might be like, well, why don't you just do what he's doing with the Charger? One very simple point. The car weighs too much. It just weighs too much. No matter what I do, okay, the car will always be overly heavy. No matter what I do. Even if I gut the interior and cut out some shit and put carbon fiber there and did this and did that, it would still be heavy. And I would have to put way more power into the car than anybody in those type of street car classes. And then you're fighting the traction issue again. Brings us to today. What are my goals for 2021 for this car? Well, I want to go racing. Like, actually racing. So, I am signed up for TX2K. Every street car takeover event that is within driving distance, so like Dallas, Oklahoma, or Dallas, Tulsa, Thunder Valley, what else? I don't think they're going to Houston. Any of those races, those are the ones I'm going to be attending. Also, or TX2K, obviously. My first race of the season, though, is going to be at the Flashlight Shootout on February 27th at Extreme Raceway Park. If you don't know what the Flashlight Shootout is, it is the fastest growing 8th mile race prepped track flashlight start that myself and my brother started. I'm very excited about. We have 5 races this year. We're making it a legit business. So that'll be the first race that it's at. I believe Dave's gonna be racing his car. I'm gonna be racing mine in the daily driver class. Other goals for this car. Number one, I need to figure out what I'm doing with the blower. The blower is maxed out. Can I still use it and race with it? Absolutely, but there's not much further I can push the envelope with this blower. It's just what it is. It's a stock blower. I haven't upgraded it yet. I haven't used the Nitrous. I gotta figure out what I wanna do with this car. After TX2K, I will be making a decision on what I'm gonna be doing next with this car. The new Whipple looks very promising, but I wanna wait till some people get it because that would be nice. Because then I wouldn't have to run Nitrous. I really, to be honest with you, I really don't wanna run Nitrous. I've just had bad experiences with it, and then it becomes a double power adder car, and then in some events, like I can't do them, or I can't use the Nitrous. So otherwise I have to go like to the faster class. So for me, like a Whipple would probably be the best option. We'll see what happens with that, but that's kind of what I'm not sure what to do with this car. I'm kind of in a weird thing. I'm excited that I got an 8-second quarter mile, like several of them in 2020. It made last year all the headache at the beginning of the year with this car. Towards the end of the year, it made it extremely worth it, and I'm super happy and impressed with this car. But that's gonna be it for today's video. Hopefully that helps some of you guys out. Listen, if you ever have questions about your Hellcat, your Demon, your Red Eye, whatever, and you're like, hey, can I ask you, like, is this guy a good tuner? I'll be straight up with you. Is this a good shop? Yes or no? I'll be very straight up, okay? Don't be afraid to reach out and ask. I will give you my opinion, and hopefully my opinion will steer you in the right direction. I've been through a lot with this car. This, like me almost wanting to sell it was gonna be tough because this is like my favorite car. I love racing. I'm not like a race car driver. This isn't like a fucking pro mod or something, but I do really enjoy racing. I love lining up and having a lot of fun, going to the racetrack. It's just, I enjoy that. It's a hobby of mine, and I love being able to take this fucking boat out and go smack around some people. So one thing that I'm really excited to go do, which I know it's terrible, but I love street racing. I love it. I really enjoy it. It's just, I don't know. I really have a good time with street racing, and I know it's terrible and I know it's illegal, but it's a lot of fun. And I also like drag racing. I like both of the events, and I like roll racing at the track too. So that's what this car, like, I just kind of want it to do a little bit of everything. I love this car a lot. This car will probably be one of those that I probably never get rid of because I have so much money in this fucking thing. It's probably not even worth it. But I really enjoy this car. It's a lot of fun. I can't complain now. I mean, listen, this thing is 4 years old, and look at it. It's beautiful. This wrap, this wrap is 3 years old. Look at that. Are you kidding me? Like, come on. This thing is mint, dude. So, anyways, that's it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. As of right now, this is the fastest Mopar on air ride suspension, and I hopefully plan to make that 890 an old record and keep dipping into the 8s as low as we can, and just see where we can take this platform. A couple things I have to do is I need to change the diff on this, and then I want to get some Mentor rear struts for this. Obviously, they'll still be on airbags. We'll just have better struts in the back. And then that's really all that needs to be done to this car. The only reason I haven't drove it is because I don't have any Ignite E85. I don't think. Hold on. Nope, we're empty. So we don't have any Ignite. And I do highly recommend Ignite. Ignite makes really, really good fuel. They are a sponsor of the Flashlight Shootout, but I've been using their stuff since I've switched tuners. David's been using Ignite forever, so highly recommend Ignite for all your fuel needs. They make some good stuff. But anyways, that's it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Have an awesome Sunday. Stay safe. My name is Kevin Van Voorst. Thank you guys for watching. This is me and the bagged cat, and we're out this bitch.